All right, hello everyone. My name is Bianca Brookes, and you are watching Trading Photos. Today we have a very special guest. His name is Remy. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, now, fun fact, Remy was telling me that he used to be a dancer. Tell us about
Back
that.
in the days, yes. I'm actually from the Bronx, and dancing took me all the way from the Bronx to LA and gave me a second chance at life. I did that for the better part of my 20s. So yeah, something I old man groove now, but back in the day I used to, really get it in.
Oh, so you're diddy bopping now to the music?
Yeah, it's funny. I never thought I'd be that guy, but when your knees start talking to you and your back start talking to you, you say, "Oh, okay, all right, I'm listening. It's cool."
All right, well, would you ever open up your own dance studio?
Yes, only because I would love to see more of our own students be able to have that opportunity. It has become like a lot of other things priced out of our range. And the sad part is, even being from the Bronx, I didn't even know the type of dance that I was doing was so reachable. I had to go all the way to California to realize that it was in my city, and then there's not a lot of studios and accessibility to it. So it'll be one of the ventures I probably look into down the line.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. So, they have Showtime on the train. I don't know if you take
No,
the
I don't.
train around here, but they're so talented. A couple of the kids actually made it to the Ellen show.
Hmm.
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, if these kids or these teenagers could get some training, and they're already amazing.
That part.
Imagine what their way there could be, what they could do. I don't think a lot of them understand that there are scholarships, and this is like
Yep.
a lucrative business for them.
Like a lot of things, it's a lack of education, and not just a lack of education, but a lack of the knowledge not being given in the community. Meaning that these programs that are out there that other people are using to get this education to travel around the world, to go to LA and get free classes, they're not advertised in our community.
You're not.
And then the sad part is they're mimicking our moves, they're recreating them, they're making YouTubes, and they're teaching with none of the culture and giving no respect to the people where they got it from. So it's kind of sad on that level. So, well, like you said, a lot of the transition of dancers into being who we are now comes from seeing that culture appropriation and wanting to find a way to give that back to our people so that people that look like us are actually the ones selling and teaching this product, you know?
All right. Now, speaking of appropriation, do you ever feel like our culture as black people is appropriated?
Well, definitely. Our culture is the world's culture. We lead the trends in clothing, music, style, the way you talk. The problem is that we started, they tell us to hate it, we give it up, they take it on, and then they rechange history and call it their own. And it's a cycle that's continued over generations from the fact that you look at country music, Lil X or whatever his name was,
Lil Nas
Lil
X.
Nas X,
Hmm.
and they'll talk about how he's culture appropriating country music.
Hmm.
Country music was black people's music first. The real cowboys were black cowboys. So it's like, who's really taking from who? But then at the same time, without a lack of knowledge, right, people don't know that. So when you tell them that, like even when I listen to country music, they're like, "You're black and you listen to country music." It's like the problem is you're black and you don't. That means you don't know your history. So it's kind of sad that way.
Okay. And in terms of the music business, do you feel like it's just country music or other things that
It's
are
all
being
levels,
appropriated?
from rock and roll. Original ones did rock and roll. The I forget his name right now, and I apologize. But the man that Elvis Presley stole all his music from was a black man, and he admits to it. So it's like you give rock and roll to Elvis Presley and these other people, they know they stole it from black people because why? We weren't allowed to play those shows that got televised and written in history, and that's why I remind people it's called his story. So all is determined by the person writing history. And we're not the ones who write history, so our history has been lost and given away. Um, and that's just the reality of the situation we're in. So, from music all over the board, to answer your question, yes.
Okay. Do you feel like in schools our children are being taught the proper history?
No. Again, his story. If you want to be uncut and transparent, our children are being taught white supremacy. That's a straight fact. Facts over emotion.
Okay. All right, and what do you think could be done to change that? Because there are a lot of things that I do agree with you. Certain things like I never knew about Black Wall Street until
Mm-hmm.
I started to develop a level of consciousness and I started to do my research and people like you who share information and then I go and then I research it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's let's be broader like this. And I know I speak a lot on my social media platform just about black issues, but to be broader about it, I call it white supremacy because America is a country, a place derived of immigrants, but all of our stories are not being told. You understand what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Except for when they were oppressed. That's the only time they'll tell you a story. Oh, we the Korean War and Asians, we put you in camps. We feel bad for you, but look what we're doing for you now. But it's like, but what about all the scholars? All the artwork you took in? You know what I'm saying? Like Spanish culture is huge in California. But yet all we hear about is immigrants and how they come and steal jobs. But you're not talking about what they gave to this place that you call, you know, California now, New Mexico, Texas. Um, and obviously the indigenous melanin people of this country. You only tell one side of the story. We've made irons. We've made traffic stops. We helped make light. You know the fixtures and parts that we made. The heating machine that heated houses was made by us. This the 360 games. Us. There's so much that is not taught in schools. That's why I call it white supremacy. There's an education of our history that is not given, and then people without history have no future. So that's just how I look at it.
All right, so let's talk about ownership. So
Black economics.
Black economics, yes, very important. I've seen you post on your page about the importance of buying black and pooling our
Hmm.
monies together. And tell me more about that.
For me and my thing is solutions now. We all talk about the problem, and when people ask me why I talk about the problem, is because there's so many people who are asleep who don't see an importance in it. So I say that to bring back to black economics, meaning that if you, as a black person of any background, whether it's Caribbean, Indigenous American, ADOS, however you see something, Christian, Muslim, whatever, if you're not spending a minimum just to get started of $20 a week with a black owned company, you're failing your people. It's simple. We spend $1 trillion as minorities, as they call us, minorities, and we don't spend money in our own community. And the first step, if you want a good solution, try to spend a little bit of money in your community. Whether it's a restaurant, nail shop, get your hair did, even a homeless person who's black, give something back to your people. That's how it starts because nothing against rich people, but it's not their job. You know, a lot of people don't understand that people like Martin Luther King, people like the Black Panther Party, people like Malcolm X were not fully funded by rich people. They were funded by the community, by the middle class America. That's why they're destroying the middle class America. Because surprisingly enough, our pennies can make a difference. So,
Okay, and speaking about nail shops, I saw on your Instagram that you spoke to a woman. I saw her at the protest. I just know her by her Instagram named
mm,
Brooklyn.
yeah.
And I saw that she went down there. And how does it make you feel that we as a community, we came together and we were able to get these people out of the neighborhood after they were disrespecting black women?
It makes me believe in actions speak louder than words. It shows that one person, because I always talk about we can't, that's what I hear from a lot of people, what we can't do. She took her own action, took her own time. And honestly, it also shows the power of what's in our hand. Used the right way, social media is stronger than a bullet. It's called about holding people accountable. It's not like we made him hit that woman. We didn't make you do anything. You showed your true colors. And then when it was time for you to apologize, you showed your true colors twice again. And then it goes right back to what we just talked about, black economics. If you want to really fix your situation, stop spending money with people that clearly show you They hate you. You know, there's a lot of people on social media, and I was guilty of it in my past. I would say, I hate white people and this and all that. And it's not about hate. I don't want you to hate white people. I want you to love being black more. That's all I want. You know, David Banner taught me something where he speaks about racism and being racist. And the the coin of the word is race. You're supposed to love your race. We're not. Why are you mad at somebody for loving your race? The problem is when that love for your race makes you hate everybody else and think they should die. Clearly, we get that. But like he said, is my biggest problem is that black people don't love their race enough. We don't realize that we're the only ones begging everybody else to do it for us. Instead of saying, prime example, how we met. Got a black comic book. I have my own opportunity I want to do. Cool. Until I can buy a copy, can I at least promote it to the people that follow me? That's a simple thing that every person can do. If every person took your comment or took a post from your page and showed 10 other people, that's 10 people you don't know. One of them might buy it. So don't tell me you can't just because you can't buy it. But you can show a fight video that goes viral in 24 hours. Make you go viral. Make a kid playing the piano go viral. Make our kids playing the violin go viral. Why are we making the worst of our community go viral?
And rewarding bad behavior too.
That part. That key part right there. So it goes back to the biggest problem I feel like we have right now as a people, as a nation, as a world. We've lost accountability.
Okay. Well, there is a rapper that I know. I'm not going to say his name, but he grew up in the Flatbush area, and he told me it's not the first time that that incident has happened. He told me that there was a I guess you can call it like a supermarket-ish kind of store, Korean store. And he said in the 90s that the owner had hit a black woman
Hmm.
and they were protesting outside the store, and I can't remember the mayor's name in 1990. It's
Hmm.
I forgot them, but he was telling me how people were protesting, but then the mayor was saying how they should let it go, and he even
Hmm.
went in and he made a purchase. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Hmm. I do, but this let's just put it this way without naming names. Our politicians of this day did the same thing at that situation. Used it for themselves. Came out there and showed their face. You know, got some, hey, I got some black votes off of it and did nothing. Actually tried to do the same exact thing, followed the same blueprint. And at the exact time that happened, I remind people no one is coming to save us. Nobody. So at the end of the day, she did what was right. She saw that people were doing that, and she came back every day. She brought people back. Well, since the politicians don't want to hold you accountable, since you don't want to say sorry, we gonna make sure that none of our people spend money with you so you can't pay your rent. I'm not gonna wait for nobody to save me.
All right. Now, do you feel like there is an agenda when it comes to emasculating black men?
Yes, clearly do. As somebody who works in Hollywood, and aside from that, when I look around and walk around, and I work in marketing, you know, working in television, that's the key thing. You look at how you market to people, from the colors we put on people, from the lipstick. We know what how it will make you feel. To us drinking water and taking off certain labels because we don't want to get free advertisement.
Hmm.
All of those, everything. There's no mistake in television. Television is called programming for a reason. You take any marketing class 101, they teach you it takes showing somebody something 7 times before it even sparks their interest. That's why on Coca-Cola commercials, they never tell you drink Coke. All they do is show you Coke. When you go to the store, because of that association from seeing it so much, that makes you say, I'm thirsty. Oh, let me get a Coke. You know what I'm saying? That's why the slogan for milk was got milk. Not go drink milk because drink is milk. No, it was got milk. Showed you over and over and over. There's a couple of documentaries you can watch where they show you how much they promoted cheese. These are all things that are no good for your body.
This is true.
But that's marketing, it's programming. So if we can concur on that now, and I go to children's store
Hmm.
and we see the rainbow colors for no reason, and I go to schools and you have drag queens teaching our kids and talking to our kids, and I see them pushing our schools. I have this thing I tell people when people talk to me about inclusion and
Hmm.
representation. If it was about love, right?
Hmm.
Like they say, we just want to teach kids they should love everybody. Then why make it about pride or about the gay fight in it? Because here's the problem with that answer to me. Black people have been oppressed for years and you haven't taught them to love everybody yet. But now you want to tell me that's what you're teaching? It's not about loving everybody. It's about you wanting to be your agenda be pushed. We all have one. My agenda is to push blackness because right now that's what's under attack.
Hmm.
You understand? And again, as I tell everybody, my problem is we are adults. And I feel like we, gay, straight, whatever you want to call it, push sexuality on children too much. It would be the best thing in the world if you just left children alone. Let them be kids. He's wearing heels. So what? He doesn't think about sex. He's not thinking about who he likes. He's just a child. That's proven. Children don't think about sexual orientation, even their body. They're still experiment. These all were proven until nowadays. Now we're trying to tell somebody you're gay at 4. No, you're not.
So you don't think someone can be born gay?
No, I think because there's no facts been proven on that. I say this because to say no, I don't think that means I did studying to prove me either way. I don't believe that. So what I will say is a child, for a
Hmm.
fact,
Yeah.
is born. They love everybody. That's why they don't see race. That's why they don't see color. That's why they don't see sex. However they're born, leave them the hell alone. Let them make that decision. Because there's many little boys like my shit. Used to wear my mother's heels. In a different generation now, he's gay. Look at it. He's gay. And then you don't realize that you start promoting that and pushing that on that child. So now because they don't understand their body, they don't understand what's going on, you have now told them they're gay. Instead of just saying, let them find out for themselves. As a Jamaican, I'll tell you that. That's the biggest problem. Oh, that boy I got turned into a Batman, so you want to beat it out of him, not realizing you may just be pushing that on him. You understand? So it's like, I can say that. I say that for real because my father used to tell us this as a child. Don't come home with a white woman. Don't go home gay, or I'll kill you. Right? So I wasn't gay. So what do you think I did when I was young?
Came on with a white
You're damn right.
one.
Because you told me not to. I can't fight you, but I'm angry and I don't know why because I'm adolescent, I'm a kid. But then you send me to a school with all white kids and tell me don't date nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I came home with a white girl. You see the mentality? You push something on somebody, sometimes out of spite, they'll do it just to do it. And then they'll tell me you can't make somebody gay. Really? I've seen plenty of posts of women and men who proudly say, well, now I'm on my gay shit. So you mean to tell me you're clearly admitting you were never gay before, but you fell in love with somebody, which I'm not against. Go ahead.
Mm.
So that means, yes, society pushed you, told you the black man is the devil, showed you that black women are stronger, and you want that stability because that's human nature. Women, in their nature, want to be protected. And the sad thing is, if more of our men stood up, they wouldn't have to make feel like they have to be that person in a relationship. So if I want to be protected, and now I got a woman who's given more rights because of an agenda that I believe is being pushed, and I'm finding that security in a woman who's helping me pay the bills, taking care of the house, in their minds and weak minds, it's okay. You know what I mean? Prime example, I was, and still I'm very black. When I was a kid, black girls didn't want to talk to me. Why? It's well spoken. Used to call black girls' house. Their dads used to be like, who's this white boy calling my house? because I didn't say nigga and call your daughter a bitch? You gonna disrespect me like that? Fathers. So what did I do? I dumbed myself down because I was weak. And dumbed myself down and started acting more hood until I became what I didn't want to be. But yet I was getting women all the time after that. When I was disrespecting them and calling them names and treating them like shit. Was I weak? Yes. I was allowing my situation to change me. Yes. But that's society. I allowed society to change who I was. You think so? You think I can do that? And you think you can't tell somebody they can be gay and push it on them in television, TV, school, and books? And then the worst part is the LGBTQ what
LGBT.
LGD well, okay,
LGBT.
has become exactly what they hate. If I say anything against them that doesn't make them happy, I hate gay people. I'm
Mm-hmm.
homophobic. When I've never ever said anybody should hurt anybody, but I should have a right to feel what I feel. So a racist is okay to call me a nigger. A racist can say whatever they want, and I'm supposed to allow them to have freedom of speech. But I can't say I don't like being like I don't. My thing is not even I don't like. I don't understand it. I don't care to. It's not even I don't like it. You know why? Because I don't want. I don't care. Do what you do in your bedroom. But if I say that, now it's an attack on me for saying that. I don't like. I don't. Probably. Oh, how you're probably of age to understand this. In your childhood, do you remember us talking about eating ass? Sorry.
I beg your pardon, sir?
Do you remember us talking about eating the groceries?
No.
One song came out and then everybody was talking, think it was okay to talk about, right?
Yeah.
Programming. All of a sudden, one song came out and something that if you did should be kept in your privacy of your house, in your bedroom. Now we're promoting it like it's all okay. That's programming. I have friends who do nasty shit who are straight. I don't want to know about it. So now I have to know about that what you guys love each other? That's good for you. Why does my child have to know that though? Why does that have to be pushed on my child? And if you're going to tell me because there's kids who have that understanding, then teach kids to love every single person. Don't make it about just being gay. Say, guess what? If they're black, blue, Chinese, or if they think that they like the same sex, everybody should be accepted. They don't do that. You have to accept them because they're gay. You have to know. Teach kids you don't have to accept it. You don't even have to like it. But you do not have to be evil just because you don't. That's my agenda on it. You don't have to like me because I'm black. Just stop calling the cops on me just because I am. You don't have to like that I'm a man. But stop trying to attack me because I am. You don't have to like her because she's a woman. But just being strong doesn't make her an angry black woman. You see what I'm saying? Us agreeing, we don't have to agree. And I say that to some people. The problem is that we feel like we have to agree, so we don't have the conversation. Because if you think the person doesn't agree with you, you don't even talk to them anymore. I think that's wrong.
Okay. Now, speaking about the police, unfortunately, there are a lot of black men that are gunned down by the police and never get justice. How do you think this can change? What do you think a solution to that could be?
Well, let's say in a perfect world. To be a doctor, I have to go to school for 8 to 10 years.
Hmm. Very
Why?
long. It's a very long time.
Why?
You need the training.
Well, for what?
Being a doctor takes years.
Because I have somebody's life in my hands.
Yeah.
To be a nurse, same thing. So why is it an officer who's given a gun who can take a life isn't given more training to protect a life? So the first level in the perfect world is not pushing out officers every 6 months. training them on what you're giving them a job to do. If you want in a perfect world. In the world we live in, to see a change, you would have to hold police accountable, and we don't. You know, because even if I give you all that training, if I tell a 3 year old, touch anything you want in this room,
Mhm.
he touches that and it breaks, and I don't say anything, he's gonna touch that camera next, and it's gonna break. Then he's gonna touch you even though you don't want him to, because there's no accountability. There's no one telling him to stop. We know that with children. So why we think that forget that when it comes to adults? If you don't hold an adult accountable for what they're doing, they're gonna keep doing it.
Mhm.
So if you want to stop cops from killing people, take their badge and stop giving them paid vacations when they do. Because you're rewarding, what did you say? Bad
Bad behavior.
behavior. Stop allowing cops to kill people and go home. You shoot somebody, your gun should be taken from you. You shoot somebody again, you never get it back. You can be a cop, no problem. Sit at a desk, file papers. You don't get to walk on the road. You punch somebody, you beat somebody, here's the aha. You pay for that lawsuit, not the city. Because basically what you're doing is attacking the people, then making the people pay for his mistake. Accountability, to answer your question. You want to change something, hold police officers accountable.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Can you tell the people where they can keep in contact with you? Please share your social media with.
You can find me at the Real Remy Red at the Real Real Remy RemyRED. Now you're gonna have to put that all in because as of right now, IG is making it hard to find me. I'm on YouTube as well. Control the narrative. We control the narrative, and I do a podcast on the Wake Up Radio every Monday, 4 to 6 Pacific time, 7 to 9 Eastern time, and on my I tell this to everybody. If you need to talk to somebody, if you need anything help you with how to control the narrative within your situation, hit my DMs. My number, I give it out to everybody. I talk to kids all the time. Um, my last message to my black men, talk to somebody. Don't hold it in. We are under attack. We are going through a lot. PTSD in the black community is real. And we are passing down trauma, so break the cycle. And if you don't have anybody in your hood, in your community to talk to, call me. Yell at me. I'd rather you do that than speak to the person you love the wrong way. Words have power. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. And you can keep up to date with all our latest episodes at youtube.com/tradingphotos. And you can keep up to date with me at youtube.com/Queen Bianca Brookes. Thanks for watching.